Holy cow, Solana. Sol, what has been happening to Sol? It's been soaring 500% this year alone. What is going on and what should you do? Should you get in now? Should you sell, take some profits, sell it all, say that's the end? There are some pros and cons, and I'll dive into all these details in this video. I'll give you some background on why it has soared, what are the risks, what are the opportunities in the future. And in the very end of the video, I'm going to reveal what I personally am doing with my Sol. So make sure to watch it all the way to the end. But hey, let's have a look at the chart first. So here we go. So we see Sol versus USD here. And we see it year to date, right? So it was 992 or something at the beginning of the year. Right now, and this is a live video, it's at 41.43. The high was at like 44 something just yesterday or the day before yesterday. So this is crazy. And by the way, I sold all my Sol holdings at the end of last year and I bought them all back. So I got in at about, this price here, $9 and something. So I'm sitting on quite some nice gains here, and I'm thinking twice whether I should sell them because, it's quite a tax burden then. But that's all dependent on your personal situation. And, this is not financial advice, obviously not anything. So this is just for entertainment purposes. All right, so let's look into some of the other things here, and let's look into how Solana does versus all the other tokens here. So if we look at CoinGecko, right? So we see Solana at number 7 right now with a market cap of almost 17 billion. It has passed Dogecoin, it has passed Cardano, even Lido staked Ether and Dogecoin. So it has made its way up. If you ask me personally, I feel like, oh man, the place Solana needs to be is in the very top. It should be number 1 because, we have Bitcoin as number 1. Why? Because Bitcoin is a store of value. Well, if you ask me, all the other blockchains out there that do proof of stake and that can do smart contracts and everything, they are just as well suited to be a store of value as Bitcoin is, right? So there should be no reason other than branding and Bitcoin having been the first. And many people think Bitcoin is the best store of value, even though all of the others can store value just as well, right? But yeah, because of branding and people's minds and stuff, that's the reason Bitcoin is all the way up there now with over 600 billion in market cap, 681 as we speak. So, but I feel Solana has the most utility. It is the future of blockchain. They have so many new partnerships with Visa, with Shopify, so many new things coming out at their annual conference right now, Breakpoint in Amsterdam. So the new Validator software, Firedancer, which is very important for decentralization. So we have an independent code base of a second validator. The first one is written by Solana Labs in the Rust programming language. The new one, Firedancer, is written in C and a little bit of C++, I believe, but it is way, way, way faster. And it was just released. And announced in Amsterdam. So that's awesome. We have a second validator, and it's released to be part of Solana's testnet. So it's basically ready, right? So that is very cool, and that's why I believe in Solana. The guys that have watched my channel before, you all know that I'm a big fan of Solana, and I honestly feel it's the future, and it should be number one in that market cap list. And let's see if that ever happens, right? So if it ever happens, I will put out this video again and say, well, I told you so, right? Of course, by no means it is certain that it will ever happen. You never underestimate the value of brands, and Bitcoin was first. It had the first mover advantage, and you talk to anyone on the street, they've probably heard of Bitcoin. You talk to anyone on the street, they probably haven't heard of Solana yet. But that might all change with the partnerships with Visa, with the partnerships with Shopify, with all the new functionality that's coming out there. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, there is Xandeum. We use the Solana code base, and we add a storage layer to Solana so that we can build real Web3 apps. That's really cool stuff. And it's all based on the Solana code base. So check out Xandeum.com, link in the description. And when you're there on our website, on the top right-hand side, there's a little Discord icon. Click that to join our Discord server so you can chat with us, chat with the team, chat with myself. I'm there often to discuss the Xandeum blockchain and how it's going to change the world. All right, so what are the other reasons Solana went up? I mean, there is the Sam Bankman-Fried trial going on right now as we speak. Funds that had been held by FTX, they have been released right now. So you can see that they unstake it. We see it on the Solana blockchain, but it hasn't been making a lot of down pressure. It hasn't created a lot of down pressure in the price. Seems like they are not selling it all at once or not selling it at all. And, all the other news are really positive all the way through. So now, what should you do with all these gains if you're already in Sol, and what should you do if you don't have Sol yet, right? So looking back at the chart here, there has actually been, if we go to the weekly chart here, let's say 5 days. You see that it was like, and even if it's a 1 month, right, it's been going up like crazy, almost with no pullbacks at all. And what you see right here now, for the last few days, there is actually a very nice pullback. So I would say if you have money on the sidelines and you're considering getting into Solana, probably now is a good time to do it, because I personally don't expect this trend to evaporate anytime soon. We're by the end of the year. Last year, most people sold, and I did, just because we wanted to realize the losses for tax reasons. Now, not many people are sitting on losses on Solana, so there will be no sell pressure by the end of the year, and the trend will continue, and we will see more and more and more real-life use cases where Solana can really shine. I love their new OPAS, only possible on Solana, PR campaign, where they do so many things that are really only possible on Solana. And I don't expect that long-term trend to reverse anytime soon. So if you already have a lot of Sol and you have some unrealized gains there, should you sell a little bit to take some profits? It's tough for me to say, hey, taking profits is not a good idea. I think taking profits is always a good idea, and it all depends on your personal situation, right? It's always great to sell a little bit and, just have less exposure, right? If you have like high gains, such as I have, right? After I sold everything by the end of last year, I bought them again, all back, the same amount that I sold for like $9 something. And that means I'm sitting on huge gains. So I could sell a little bit, like 10%, 20%, stuff like that, have my investment back, right? And only have, the bank money and basically nothing to lose anymore. So I could do that maybe I might at some point in time. But right now I'm so convinced of Solana and of the long-term prospects that I'm not taking profits. It might be a bad idea, but yeah, I'm just too convinced. But if you're sitting on gains and considering about taking some profits, like selling some of it, that's never a bad idea. And then should you sell everything? I would never do that, because I believe this is just the beginning of a long-term trend, and we're going to be three figures again with Solana real soon, and we will see new all-time highs and all that kind of stuff. That's my personal opinion. So I would never advise anyone to sell everything on Solana. Why would you? And if you're not in there yet, or if you're in a little bit and still have some money on the sidelines that might be potentially be used to get some more SOL, I think if you do it right now and quick, it might be a nice pullback. And of course, we never know how this develops, right? It might go down further here, or not, right? And I'm not the guy that's making short-term predictions for trading and how things might develop. But if you're a long-term investor and you see this pattern here, and you see finally Solana making some real-world impact, then yeah, of course I would use this little pullback here that we see here right now to stack up on your SOL. And that's what I'm doing, and that was the revelation that I promised you in the beginning of the video. So if you like content like this, please give me that like button. It really helps for the YouTube algorithm. And also subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell to not miss anything. And go to Xandeum.com. Learn everything about Xandeum. It's going to be the Solana plus. It's going to be Solana on steroids. So once it's there, maybe Xandeum is the #1 on the CoinGecko chart by market cap. I think it should, because the scalable storage layer is kind of the only thing that's missing in Solana, and we're adding that. All right, so thanks so much for watching, guys.